Justin Blanchard. This is History 360. Today we're going to be talking about three inventors who changed the course of American history. Louis Latimer was born in Chelsea, Massachusetts, 6 years after his parents, George and Rebecca Latimer, fled slavery in Virginia. However, George Latimer was considered a fugitive after the Dred Scott case ruling, and he was forced to leave his family to protect them. In his father's stead, Latimer faked his age and joined the Union Navy in 1864. After the war, he was discharged and returned to work, first at Crosby & Good, a Boston firm of patent solicitors. From 1896 to 1911, Latimer served as chief draftsman and full-time patent consultant for the Board of Patent Control that was jointly formed by General Electric and Westinghouse companies. Latimer also worked alongside Thomas Edison in defending original Edison patent claims in an era that was characterized by widespread patent abuse. Latimer even made his own modifications to Edison's light bulb invention, with an improved method for the production of carbon filaments used in light bulbs, which increased the lifespan of light bulbs, ultimately helping to disseminate electric power throughout the nation. Latimer was greatly involved in legal cases over patents for inventions by Edison and others. Louis Latimer is probably not well known to us because of the racial prejudice that many blacks experienced during this time. Furthermore, while Latimer was certainly a major pioneer in the electrical industry, there are many other innovators like Thomas Edison who are more well known in part because they are white. Hello? It's the man who invented the telephone. Mr. Bell? Not Mr. Bell, it's Elijah Gray. You may not have heard of me, but I invented the automatic self-adjusting telegraphic relay, telegraph switch and annunciator for hotels, a private telegraph line printer, and telegraphic repeater. I was also perhaps the one inventor who originally came up with the idea for a telephone. However, there was another man named Alexander Graham Bell, who you've all probably heard of, accredited for inventing the telephone. And he is only accredited for it because apparently the same day I filed for a patent, he had done so 2 hours earlier. And in court, he won. And as we all know, the saying goes, winners write history. And I didn't get any fame or recognition for the telephone, which changed society forever. However, in my later years, I got a patent in 1888 and 1891 for a teleautograph. The teleautograph came into general use in many industries such as banks and railway stations, and in its own way had a profound effect on society. However, I dare say no one has mentioned my name, in part because I've never been accredited with inventing the telephone. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gray. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gray, for your time. Last but not least, we have Garrett Morgan, probably the most special person of discussion today. Morgan invented something that we certainly cannot live without now, and had a great trouble living with back then. You guessed it, traffic lights. Prior to conceiving the traffic light, Morgan saw that existing mechanical stop-and-go signals were dangerous, since they had no caution signal to buffer traffic flow. As a result, there were a number of accidents that occurred in cities. However, by 1923, he patented a three-armed signal. It indicated stop and go for traffic in two directions. It even had a four-way stop for pedestrians, and it had a signal for moving forward with caution, the forerunner of today's yellow light. However, about a decade before the creation of this three-armed signal, Morgan developed a safety hood, some of which were used by American soldiers in World War I. However, these hoods were primarily used by American firemen across the South, to whom Morgan concealed his true identity by having a white accomplice pose under the alias Mr. Morgan. His primary models weren't capable of protecting people from gases heavier than air, such as mustard gas, and were used by fire departments primarily for that reason, since smoke was lighter than air. However, on July 25, 1916, an explosion ripped through a construction tunnel 200 feet under Lake Erie, and Morgan was personally involved in the rescue operation. However, during the operation, he revealed his identity. When the event was publicized, it became clear to many white men who were associated with him in business that he was in fact black, and consequently, due to racial prejudice, he lost a fair amount of customers. Significance. Morgan's inventions eventually transformed the urban landscape and made commuting and transportation a lot safer than it was back then. His inventions also saved countless lives, influenced the course of World War I by helping soldiers deal with toxic fumes and unfamiliar weapons that were introduced in the world's First Great War. Popularity. Morgan faced a great deal of racial prejudice which impacted his business and publicity. Despite his heroism, on July 25, 1916, Morgan's name was never put forward by Cleveland officials for the Carnegie Medal of Heroism, which was awarded to several white men involved in the rescue operation. However, despite his shortcomings, Morgan, and Latimer for that matter, made a great deal of themselves during a time when racial prejudice ruled the United States of America.